As host to the soldiers, sailors, and airmen of an entire nation, Halifax faced a serious problem. Its normal living and entertainment facilities were designed for approximately 70,000 persons, and during the war, this population had almost doubled. But Haligonians are, first of all, hospitable people, and secondly, resourceful people. And throughout the city, there soon blossomed a multitude of entertainment centers, clubs, and hostels for all nationalities and services. Their sole purpose was to supply entertainment and living quarters for visiting servicemen. But Halifax, physically, had long been prepared for the advent of her visitors. Her parklands and water areas had provided enjoyment for many generations of soldiers, long since beyond the sounds of battle.
While on the nearby common, the youngsters can go boating on the egg pond, as it's called, in craft that try their best to discredit Nova Scotia's great shipbuilding tradition. But it's grand fun all the same. As is the swimming pool when city streets get hot in summertime, or the wading pool for small fry who can't swim. The area abounds in fun and game, the swings and slides, and a great favorite with the youngsters is the roundabout, and it's all under an unobtrusive supervision. Or, from a modern vantage point aloft, it is a place of patterns, along the harbor front, or in the northwest arm reserved for pleasure craft, or down quiet streets of comfortable homes. The patterns bear, in iron and ancient bronze and weathered stone, the hallmarks of history. On every side endure reminders of a proud past, rich in tradition and the accomplishments of peace and the old triumphs of half-forgotten wars. From the eastern bastions of the citadel, one faces the ocean and the dawn. Here, an hour before the rest of North America, the new day rises from the sea to gild the bridge and silhouette the old town clock and masts of fishing craft along the waterfront. Now, as has always been the case, Halifax lives by its waterfront, and seaborne commerce is its breath of life. At the four quadrants of the compass, the city is built on the steep slopes of a hill that rises to the citadel and rises from tide water. Much that is new has grown in recent years, but as in the past, the roots of growth are fed and nurtured by the sea. The fishery and seaborne trade built Halifax and builds it higher every year. The heart of the city is the Grand Parade, and from that heart, the visitor is warmly welcomed. And there is much of interest here to browse and see at a comfortable pace, and in an atmosphere of old-world courtesy that many modern cities have lost along the way. Barrington Street, the main thoroughfare, boasts fine department stores, and too, the shops of specialists with many colored merchandise, such as these Nova Scotia tartans in fine wool, the official tartan of the province, made up in a wide range of garments for the young and serious, and for the not so very old and gay. And in the Grand Parade, a place of memory. 2 world wars that raged across the nearby sea came perilously close to home at times and left their marks on the old face of Halifax. In 17, a munition ship blew up, killed thousands, threw its anchor stock some 3 miles inland. Province House that Charles Dickens hailed as a jewel of Georgian colonial, and Westminster in miniature, housed the first responsible government in all of Britain's empire overseas. Joe Howe, who stands nearby in bronze, won that privilege for his native province. The constant contrasts of old with new add sparkle to the patterns of the city. And the founding father, Edward Cornwallis, looks down in wonderment at the changes of 200 years, and how the inns have grown and prospered since his day. The harbor's northwest arm, when Cornwallis first sailed in, was called, the Indians said, Wagwaltic, and that name lives on along the city's western shore in the famed Wagwaltic Club, where succeeding generations of Haligonians learned to swim. But the Wag is just the finest of many fine swimming and boating clubs, for few cities in the world have such a sea-girt site, or are so well provided with public beaches, and hundreds of Halifax homes have tidewater at the bottom of the garden. Public baths and favorite, if informal, swimming spots abound in both the harbor and the Arm.